Welcome to today's deep dive. Normally when you look out at the ocean at night, it's just this vast, dark expanse.
Right, yeah, totally. Complete invisibility is basically the baseline for the whole shipping industry.
Exactly, which is exactly how they like it. But
Yeah.
recently, it's like a massive flare has gone off over that dark water. Suddenly, all these ships are just uh, illuminated for the whole world to see.
Right, the spotlight is just glaring right now.
Yeah. So our mission today for you, the listener, is to figure out why this usually invisible industry is experiencing this near-record global spotlight. We're unpacking 3 articles by a crisis communications consultant named Dustin Eno.
Yeah, and he uses this really fascinating metric called the Maritime Attention Index, or the MAI.
Right, the MAI, think of it like a global EKG monitor for shipping.
Right.
Like normally the industry's heartbeat flatlines at a really quiet baseline of about 50.
Barely a pulse.
Right, but lately it's been averaging 131. It even tied the all-time high set during that whole Ever Given canal blockage situation.
Which is wild because, I mean, the trigger for that massive spike on the EKG is what makes this so unusual. Usually it takes a really dramatic, highly visual disaster to wake the public up.
Like a major oil spill or,
Yeah.
bridge collapse.
Exactly. But these current spikes, they aren't about a single visual accident at all. They are driven entirely by geopolitical disruptions.
Hmm.
So we're seeing this intense focus on the U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran affecting the Strait of Hormuz.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and that's alongside the rise of shadow fleets, which, just to define that really quickly, shadow fleets are those aging, unregulated vessels that operate outside normal insurance systems, mostly to bypass international sanctions.
Right. And it's a stark reminder that public attention, it doesn't really take political sides. It just follows major geopolitical shockwaves. Like the data actually shows Donald Trump's announcement of Project Freedom, which was a plan to guide vessels out of the strait, generated a huge spike in attention all on its own.
It did, yeah. Though it's worth noting it was still a bit less than the initial military strikes. But, while major announcements explain the first jump in the data, it's the shape of the story over time that's so weird.
Wait, what do you mean by the shape of the story?
Well, a normal crisis, like, say, a contained fire on a cargo ship, it spikes on day one, and then it smoothly dies down as the fire gets put out.
Right. The problem goes away. The attention goes away.
Exactly. But this current crisis has these jagged recurring spikes, and they've been running for over 230 days now.
So a story that stubbornly refuses to die like that, it usually requires 2 specific ingredients, right?
Spot on. You need continuous negative developments on the ground, plus a party that actually benefits from all that noise. Eno's analysis points directly to that dynamic.
Oh, interesting. So who actually benefits here?
Well, take the Iranian leadership, for example. They actually benefit from localized maritime chaos staying in the news because it creates global market fear.
Ah, and that fear artificially inflates oil prices.
Right, which is their primary export, so it keeps their negotiating power high. Meanwhile, the U.S. administration would much prefer the story fade away to project stability.
But they aren't the ones steering the narrative.
Exactly. When the party that wants quiet isn't controlling the story, you end up with those endless, jagged spikes of attention.
Okay, wait, I got to push back here for a second. If we look at the most recent data, that overall attention is finally starting to drift down from its peak of 353.
Yeah, it is softening a bit.
So even though there are still like 1,000 ships and 20,000 seafarers trapped in the Gulf right now, if you're a shipping CEO and you see that number dropping, wouldn't you just say, hey, let's lay low? Like, let's just wait for the world to get distracted.
I mean, it is a tempting strategy, I'll give you that. But it's actually a really dangerous trap. You can't just lay low because that attention is still more than double the historical average.
Oh, wow. So the EKG is still running incredibly hot.
Exactly. So a normally minor local incident, something that wouldn't even make the back page usually, will instantly become a major global reputational event right now. The world's journalists are already tuned in. They're literally watching the water.
So the audience is basically already seated in the theater.
Right. So instead of hiding in the wings, companies have to use this fading window. Like, the maritime industry has complained for years that nobody understands their economic value.
Or the incredibly tough conditions the seafarers actually face.
Yes, the spotlight is literally on them right now.
Yeah.
They need to step up and publicly highlight the realities of their routes and crews before that audience leaves.
Because public attention is a finite, powerful resource. Right now, the maritime industry holds it, but they are slowly losing it.
It is fading, yeah. But it's still briefly theirs to use, if they're smart about it.
That makes a lot of sense. So for you listening, the next time you see a crisis that stubbornly refuses to leave the headlines, whether it's an oil spill or a global conflict, don't just assume it's because the event itself is exceptionally bad.
It's rarely just that simple.
Right. Instead, look past the blinding light and ask yourself, who is actually gaining from keeping this story so loud?